Good morning, everyone. Yes, we're back home. Back home here. I had a fabulous time at the farm and so many things going right. Or rather, yeah. Tell you one experience. I had a fabulous time with my sister-in-law, who's taking care, who's there now, as I was, kind of stepping in my footsteps for the time that I'm not there. And I am so thankful and grateful and whatever else goes with that. When it comes to that, to her, I just on and it took a little while, yes, uh, for her to really get there. Oh, not because she didn't want to do it before, right after I left. It takes courage when there are other people around who think they know better, but they've not really ever been there. She's been there for several years now. Gosh, with six years or something with me when she showed up with her truck, her dog, and her duffel bag. And we talked about that as well. She said, I was so worried. But her brother, my husband, said, go to Daniela's, go to the farm. She'll take you in. And she thought, no, she won't. She was so worried. She had nowhere else to go. And she came and I saw her. Yeah, yeah, come on, come on, there's room. We talked about that. And she said, I was so amazed. I was so amazed you didn't even ask why I was here. You just said, huh? I said, hey, can I stay? And you said yes. That was that, without any kind of hesitance. Yes. Well, funny thing is when she got out of the truck, I'm going, I know this person, but I can't. Must be from town. I wonder what she's doing here. And then she says, hi, I'm Jan. I'm going, no, my sister-in-law. I have so many of them. In any case, so we had a wonderful evening where we just talked and talked and found out all kinds of really good things that I'm really happy are working out the way they are for her, especially because that's great for our farm too. Anyway, and in the morning I went over to the barn. No, I went over there that day as well to go look for eggs. And I walked into the barn and I'm looking, going, wow, it's as neat as a pin. It's exactly as I left it the last time that I was here when we went winterizing. And I looked everywhere. See, I'm going, she's doing it exactly the way I told her to do for the safety of the animals. Also, the speed that then you can do things because she works full time. She's a full-time substitute teacher. And then has to take care of everything there as well. And there's a way to do it where it goes quick and it's safe. And okay, well, I've done this for so many years, 20 plus years. I think by now I should know a little bit something about it all, right? And working full time, and yes, I'm still raising children, yes. And doing everything else that I did. Volunteering at the fire department, volunteering at the hospice. Anyway, so she's doing it. It's amazing on how somehow, right? We think, so, well, God prepares, yes? He prepares the way. Jesus prepares the way. And it's done in a way. It even says in the Bible, God does not know the future. Nobody knows the future. But there are paths, right, to when you yourself believe in, for example, the 3 generation family. Well, how can I realize that with all my children have gone out of the house, married and have children and live somewhere else for very good reasons. Well, how am I going to be a part of that with what else I took on responsibility, hometown, built this huge place, this and that, right? But always with we started that with the intention it's God's place. When someone needs a place there, okay, of what dubious character and this and that, no, no, no. I have to say, I am. Oh, am I picky? I give everybody a chance, but I don't like to be abused, used and abused. Uh, then some people had to, or everybody kind of moved on their own because I just sat them down and said, look, if you think that I don't know, don't notice, or that I'm going to keep accepting that kind of behavior, well, then you got another thing coming. So it's either or. And some of them chose or. So, or either. So having been there and seeing uh, on how she's taking care of everything now and is also teaching the new house guest, uh, uh, I couldn't be happier. Okay, and to think she did not know we were coming. Because every time I tell her, hey, we're coming, she goes out and she buys a whole bunch of food. And then, of course, she's, extra cleaning the house, this, that. I didn't want her to do that. I want her to have her weekend as well, free. And she was visiting her daughter and her grandchildren. So, and we got there, as I said, things looked great. And I did have to clean the 2 guest rooms upstairs a little bit, and got them real ready. And then we talked about, okay, the dogs don't need to be up there, right? Because so let's focus on that a little bit because, and again, uh, most of the except for the dog, she has no animals, but she's taking care of everyone. And in a very loving, she spoils them even worse than what I do. So cute. Uh, she told me, so sometimes we have extra vegetables or we get stuff from people because we have the pigs. I'll just cut it up and throw it out there for them, eat it or don't, right? She cooks it up for them. Of course, they like that better. You got some pumpkins, right? People, say, okay, we're done with them, but they're still good. We don't want to throw them just away. So they gave them to her for the pigs, and she cooks them up for them. Okay, as I said, not only did I get amazing help on the farm while I'm not there, right? And I don't really have to worry about anything. Stuff comes up, but it's just normal. This happens when I'm there. But in a way, God prepared someone, and I did over the years, even better than I am. Can you imagine? That's amazing to me. And so I love it. And the thing is, as I told her, I said, now I said, you stick with what? Uh, in the way how you want things. And you don't let other people interfere because you're doing the right thing. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so so who's interfering? Oh, just people who come and think they know better, but they don't stay there, right? And you don't just go to someone's house. Okay, I do that sometimes, but not and start rearranging all their furniture, this and that, right? Because you think that would look better in someone else's house. Oh, do you? Do people do that? Huh? Okay. Anyway, so there is that. We're moving some things around here because the little one's about to start to crawl. She's so much fun. So that was our trip, and fabulous trip. Loved it. So we are in the book of Job. Working together. Everyone benefits. All right. The book of Job. 39. We are getting there. A few more days. And it's just continued. This is continued again. From Job must bow to the Creator's wisdom. Do you know when mountain goats give birth? Have you ever watched deer in labor? Have you ever counted the months that they carry their young? Do you know when they give birth? They crouch to drop their young. They get rid of their burdens. And the calves, having grown big and strong, go off into the desert and never come back to them. Who has given the wild donkey his freedom? Who has undone the harness of the brayer? I have given him the wastelands as his home, the salt plain as his habitat. He scorns the turmoil of the town, obeys no donkey man's shouts. The mountains are the pastures that he ranges in quest of anything green. Is the wild ox willing to serve you or spend the night beside your manger? If you tie a rope around his neck, will he harrow the furrows for you? Can you rely on his massive strength and leave him to do your heavy work? Can you depend on him to come home and pile your grain on your threshing floor? Okay. Can the wing of the ostrich be compared with the plumage of stork or falcon? She leaves her eggs on the ground with only earth to warm them, forgetting that a foot may tread on them or a wild animal crush them. Cruel to her chicks as if they were not hers, little she cares if her labor goes for nothing. God, you see, has deprived her of wisdom and given her no share of intelligence. Yet, if she bestirs herself to use her height, she can make fools of horse and rider too. Are you the one who makes the horse so brave and covers his neck with flowing mane? Do you make him leap like a grasshopper? His haughty neighing inspires terror. Exulting, he paws the soil of the valley and charges the battle line in all his strength. He laughs at fear. He's afraid of nothing. He recoils before no sword. On his back the quiver rattles, the flashing spear and javelin. Trembling with impatience, he eats up the miles. When the trumpet sounds, there is no holding him. I don't know if he's talking about animals here or people, but you know what? Don't even care. It's a masterpiece of poetry. Interesting to read. Goes in one ear and out the other. Sorry, that's what it feels again right now. At each trumpet blast, he neighs exultantly. Okay, it's not quite true, but we'll get there. He scents the battle from afar, the thundering of the commanders and the war cry. Is it your wisdom that sets the hawk flying when he spreads his wings to travel south? Does the eagle soar at your command to make her eyrie in the heights? She spends her nights among the crags with a needle of rock as her fortress, from which she watches for prey, fixing it with her far-ranging eye. Even her young drink blood. Where anyone has been killed, she is there. Okay. That is the end of 39. I know where this is going again, but I'm tired of talking about that. So, what one thing that came immediately to my mind, and again, what we were talking about, the guidance of God, or on how God prepares ahead of time. And how would anyone know that? What, a year ago, 2 years ago, a year ago? Can't remember when I started this condition. Right, that's a long time ago. Anyway, I would start reading this. For what purpose exactly? The reputation of God. And here I am. I have this experience on the farm where I'm just, dear me, I'm so glad that you stepped in. That, okay, there's someone there now taking care of things while I'm not there in the absolute way that I taught her, and she is doing it. It's happening, right? It took a little while, but it's happening. And even better in a way. All right. And I'm amazed on how that's working again. And here, right, was this already in a way prepared? Okay, there will be certain things happening, because that's kind of what visionaries are. You project forward. If things all go well, you project forward. That's most likely how it's going to be. Well, if things don't go well, then you project forward, and that's how it's going to be. It's not that hard. It's just they're not psychics and whatever out there. It's just they're visionaries. They're very good at envisioning things ahead of time, according to the circumstances in the present. Sometimes one is right, sometimes the other is right. Or right. Okay, just saying. And it's as if, with my belief, with what I've learned, with true parents, the divine principle, hometown, building that place, this and that, huh? It's as if God could project, say, she's going to get to the point where she needs someone there so she can go and help out and be there for the 3-generation household, but maybe not there at her place. So I'm going to prepare people and see who's going to fit the place, right? Yes? It's amazing to me on how that works. And so while I was reading all this, I thought, so I have to be doing something right. It's like this 5% responsibility that father and even mother all constantly talk about, right? That 5% responsibility we have to take that then God can work in the other 95%, right? Or 10%, and then 90%. Okay, all right. You want to get technical about it? Fine. And when we do that, when we do take responsibility, according to the teachings given and the guidance given to us, yes, by whom? Yes, some of our forefathers, or someone were in the script, in the Bible, that nobody would really think about much because you got all them highfalutin people like Moses. Okay, I'm just saying. We can learn, right? We can learn from the people in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, of course, it's Jesus. Right? Who else is there? Well, I guess we'll find out. And then, of course, now in the completed testament, it's true parents. I mean, first and foremost. Yes? And, of course, everyone that worked with true parents to have the divine principle out, that's a big operation. It's not just true parents have done all that. What they did, the main thing, 1960 blessing, the change of lineage, began through their marriage. All right. And, but it took a lot of people to be in the right place at the right time, having zest for what? Gosh, to get us back on track as mankind. Right? Let's stop the wars, the cruelty, the abuse of so many things, overuse of things. I'm just saying. Right? Yes? So, takes a lot of people working together. That's the visible God that is talked about here. The principles of creation. That's what I hear out of this. I know what they're trying to do with that, or say with it, whoever wrote it down. But what I hear out of it is the principles of creation in a way that we can see God out there. Yes? Yeah. That's pretty fabulous. Anywho, that's what I want to share this morning. Well, I've got a few more minutes. I have baby duty today. Yes. Oh, and the little things again. Yes. Okay, we're done with this one. I went out just before we were leaving. I thought, I've got to go for my cough, this and that. I've got to go and get me some mullein. And I've not found any mullein around here anywhere. And the last time I went to the farm, I didn't find any either. But this is about the time where it starts to come up again. Yeah, I know, right? Winter time. It's winter. Hello. And but this is when it comes up again. And I went and looked, and I found a whole bunch of them. It was really amazing and young, fresh. Yes, I picked 3 of them, and there's plenty more. So I didn't feel I should not. There's plenty of it. I didn't pick it all. That's a gatherer's responsibility. You don't just go and deplete what you want and are looking for. You take as much as is allowable to then have some go to maturity, that then there is seeds and more can grow. Do you understand? Yes. Yeah. Some people don't get that. It's just all about the money. You can make a lot of money on herbs and roots and stuff. Yes. Okay. And here comes my granddaughter back. She went for a walk with the dogs by herself. And she has a secret favorite spot now. I found out. She told me. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, don't go too far. She says, I can see the house, Rosie, from where I'm. I said, okay. That sounds good then. It's going towards winter, and the wild animals there, bears, coyotes. I don't know if I haven't seen any mountain lion signs. They are out right now and still, very, very active. And anywho, and hunters are out. It's a deer hunting season right now. Oh, which I have a good story of that. So anyway, she comes back and she has a basket in her hands. I'm going, she went gathering too. And she comes and she says, hey, Rosie, look what I all found. And she found all these things that I use to make these little scenes. If I have one all done, I'll show you what that is. It's I think it's quite fabulous. Well, anyway, and she found me some moss and a very interesting stick that has a yellow. It's almost like it looks painted, but it's not. It's just natural like that. And then a couple other things and a beautiful red leaf. Ooh, which means yeah, okay. And I'm going, are you taking this with you? She says, Rosie, I picked all that for you. I'm going, oh, that's amazing. Anyway, so we packed it all up, took it home. It's not something. I have a niece. That's my sister-in-law's granddaughter. She's 11, and she just shot a 11-point buck. Yes, I think 11. Not a 10-pointer, 11 points. That thing is huge, over 200 pounds. That's got to be more than 200 pounds, 300, 250, 300, but I don't know. And, but there'll be about 200 pounds of meat. Huge. 11 years old. This is her 6th kill. She goes hunting with her dad, and yes, they use every bit of that deer buck to yes, and I'm hoping I'm gonna get a little some too. 11 years old and hunting in the woods with her dad for food. Isn't that something? Yes. That's wonderful. I love my niece very much. She has a great heart for Jesus as well, already at such a young age. Yeah. Anyway, so there is that. That's what I wanted to share. All the wonderful news from my farm, right? Yeah, and the great things happening out there. And again, I'm not sharing all this. Oh yeah, so you're doing so. There's a lot of hard work went into all this. Lots of heart, lots of zest. My daughter again last night, she says, Mom, I don't know how you're doing all this. Plus taking care of the little one. I just barely managed to get a shower in or something. I said, well, first of all, I've been doing this for a long time. And I told her, I said, yeah, but you do many other things right now. It can't be compared. If we were to make a list of everything that you do and everything that I do, you'd probably still be ahead. Yes? Okay. Anywho, but of course, who doesn't like to hear that one's creativity when it comes to all that, which it is, it takes creativity, is appreciated and seen. One makes a difference. Yes? Okay. Anywho, I share this because it works. It really does. Sometimes it takes years to see the fruit of one's labor. Yes? And even then, we may not know where that labor goes, or the fruits of our labors are going. But guess what? Our Heavenly Parent does. And He can work with that 5%. That's what I understood from what true parents taught us about all that. The 5% responsibility has to be done in order for Heavenly Parent, Spirit World, the angels can work with the other 95% with us and around us. Yes? Okay. So, it will be another beautiful day. One of the cats didn't want to go in last night. I tried 3 times. The third time I said, well, that was the charm. Now you're staying outside. It was relatively warm last night. Oh, every time I turned the light on, which I did twice, to have a drink, my arm went to sleep again. Then I have to move it right, wake it up. And he would come and stand in front of the door and start meowing. I ain't gonna let that cat in here. Because it'll take 5 minutes and I'll have to get up and let him out again. And I thought, you know what? You had your chance last night. So you didn't want to go in. And now you can stay outside until I'm ready to go over to the house and make me a cup of coffee. So that's what we did. 3 times. Thank God he doesn't yowl and yowl and yowl and yowl for hours. It's just about 5 minutes. Meow, meow, meow. I'm going, yeah, sorry. No. Anywho, is that going to teach him a lesson? Well, according to this, there's no intelligence in animals. I don't believe that either. No wisdom and no intelligence in animals. Oh, how ignorant are these people? We know that's not true. Animals, even though are under the principles of creation, I've seen plenty animals that exhibited a form of wisdom and a form of intelligence. So, yeah, not quite like us, but all right, just saying. That's interesting too. One little thing. I didn't start talking. I can't quit talking. I put some straw. The pigs are not going into the barn just yet. And I put some more straw out, and they were both laying there, kind of just in the dugout, dry, nice and dry, dugout hole in their pig pen. Yes, they can do that. They're not on concrete and all that jazz. And no, they don't poop in their area where they're sleeping. They go outside. Yes, well, they can go outside. Yes. So they don't dirty up their sleeping quarters. See, pigs are there. Okay. That takes some wisdom and intelligence, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. And I threw in that straw, and then I watched, and immediately they both got up and started building a nest. And I just threw it in flakes. Oh, so interesting. It's just I could have stood there like watching, just to watch, and I was like, "What they're gonna do now?" But it was just before we were going to leave. But I did get to watch a few minutes on how immediately, as soon as I threw that straw in there, they knew what it was for. They knew what it was for, and they immediately both got up, though they were snoozing, and got to work. That's something. Yeah. Yeah. That's bowing to God's wisdom right there, acknowledging that kind of stuff. And again, to keep the principles of creation, like animals, that were given to us as mankind, humans to take care of, and, all right, wild or domestic, remember the story of my niece, to keep them and to make use of them, but to never abuse them. And then they will exhibit what? They can exhibit what? Yeah. Anywho, so such a long time ago. How were things already treated at that time as well? Huh? Yeah. One has to kind of question that a little bit. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, here we are. Ooh. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you and embrace you with love, and I will talk to you, God willing, tomorrow.